Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Business Takeaway, a videocast series where we interview professionals in the advertising, marketing, and public relations industry. I'm the host, Sarah. With me today, I have Shari who's currently the Dean of the College of Journalism and Mass Communications here at the University of Nebraska. It's great to be talking with you, Dean Vail.
Thanks for having me, Sarah.
I'd like to start off by asking you, what got you interested in this field?
Sure. So I actually decided to go into public relations at the ripe old age of 12. I had to write a paper in junior high about potential careers along that line. And by then I was already going to state for speech and debate. I was good at writing, and it just felt like a natural fit of, I had always been told I could talk my way in and out of things as well. So it was kind of a good fit for my personality and my interests.
Definitely. And now can you talk a little bit more about your education, where you went to college, what degree you got, and if you have a master's degree?
Sure. So my undergraduate degree is from the University of Mary. It's in communication with a concentration in public relations. Then I had a minor in business. I then got my MBA next with an emphasis in marketing, and went on to get my PhD in communication with a focus on crisis communication. And along that way, I started working full-time my sophomore year of college. So I worked my way through school all the way up through the PhD before making the leap to academia.
Awesome. So on that same note, can you talk a little bit more about your career path and what positions you held leading up to this point?
Yeah, so freshman year of college, I was a work study in the public relations office. So everything from writing the student newsletter to putting on events, planning events, coordinating guests who are coming to campus. I then started working on the business side, worked in banking first as a teller and then a night manager and then a mortgage loan processor. Ready to make the move into more marketing PR side of things. I did an internship with the State Pharmaceutical Society or Pharmaceutical Association. It was not very exciting. So then I did a 180 and went full on excitement and became the director of marketing for a junior A hockey team. So that was everything from running in-game promotions to promotional events for the team to selling dashboard ads and nice logos. And then I was ready for a more professional focused route, and I became the marketing coordinator for MedCenter One Health Systems. I wrote their quarterly magazine and their monthly wellness publication. From there, I became the director of marketing services for a real estate firm. And I stayed there for a little over 5 years, built the team from 2 to 10. We had over 120 agents. We changed our brand during that time. So a lot of really focused marketing PR efforts in that position. And then while I was there, I was working toward my PhD, and I had gone to my advisor and made the comment, I'm leaving the office and I'm just exhausted, but I leave the classroom and I have all this excitement and energy. And she made the comment that some careers are life-giving and some are life-taking. And I made the move to academia from there. So I was first at the University of Oklahoma teaching advertising and public relations and working with the Center for Risk and Crisis Management. I was then recruited to the University of Kentucky to start their risk sciences division. Again, my research area is crisis communication. I ran that center for a number of years, got pulled into student crises as associate dean for undergraduate programs, and then department chair for communication. And eventually I got tired of trying to fix things without the budgetary oversight to fix them and went for a dean position, which is why I'm here now at Nebraska.
Awesome. Well, it sounds like you have a lot of good experience for sure. So that's very good to hear. So moving on to your current job, can you describe a typical workday at this job?
Not really. Typical means that it can be anything and everything. So right now, start of the spring semester, we're doing annual evaluations. So meeting with every single faculty member across the college, talking about what their goals are, how their classes went, what they're doing moving forward in their research. Working with donors. I'm actually working on an article right now for a lovely $4.65 million endowment that's coming in to support depth reporting in the college. So working on actually writing an article. So I'm still doing writing. I'm still doing PR side of things. Also do newsletters. we do a weekly newsletter for students, a weekly newsletter for our faculty and staff, a monthly newsletter for alumni, monthly newsletter for parents. So I might be working on stories or interviews as part of that. Lunches, dinners, cocktails, often with industry partners as well, talking about what's going on in the field, making sure that our students are ready for those opportunities. And then the same thing with donors as well. So finding great partners who are interested in investing in the next generation of professionals in our fields.
Wow, you got a lot on your plate there. Okay, so if you were to give some advice to students who might want to work in the same job as you, what would you say is the required education for that?
Yeah, I'd start off with the undergraduate degree, communications, public relations, advertising, journalism, even broadcasting would come in many ways. So, I mean, you can go the straightforward route of advertising PR. That's the major that we have here at the undergrad level, but you can come at the field from a variety of different ways. I do believe that the education is essential, especially for understanding the ethical challenges that you will face in the future. So really understanding that from that public relations advertising perspective, I think is key. As far as if you went on for a master's degree, MBA will certainly help if you decide to go on into more leadership positions along that line. But I would say the biggest thing, no matter what you do, what area of education you focus on, it is to show up. You must be the brand. You have a brand identity as an individual. And every time you show up to class, show up for a meeting, dressing maybe not at the professional level that you should be and the impression you want to make one day, or not paying attention, being buried in your phone, anything like that detracts from your brand and what you want to be and what you want to become in the future. So keeping an eye on where you want to be and who you want to become and demonstrating that now is key in every class you are taking, in every engagement you have, not just in the professional world, but in personal world as well, because that will make a difference. Relationships are essential in this industry.
Definitely. And then can you speak on like any sort of training that you had to prepare yourself for this role? I know you had a lot of experience in similar roles previously, but just for this role specifically, can you talk about the training that was required?
Yeah, so I've done a number of training that's focused specifically on academic leadership. So back at Kentucky, we had the Chairs Academy when I was department chair. And then as associate dean, I took another version of that. We were part of the SEC, and the SEC has a leadership academy. I would imagine that we do in the Big Ten as well. It's just I'm new enough here that I haven't been involved in it. But it's learning about how the behemoth of academia works, understanding the structure, the bureaucracy, the different roles, how you make connections across. I mean, different universities have different budget models that you need to understand. They have different organizational structures that you have to follow. I was in a provost model before. This is a chancellor model with a president. So it's really just understanding the different workings of it. And then the other training that I focused a lot on was on their faculty development programs and understanding diversity, equity, and inclusion, and how much of an impact that has on your organization. So all of those, anytime you have the opportunity to engage in professional development, go for it. Use those skills, use the network that you also create in those programs, because those who are going into those development programs are also looking to be highly effective leaders, and you want to be working with them too.
Mm-hmm. Can you talk a little bit about what you like about your work?
Oh, it's so much fun. It really is. There is no place in the world where there is more hope than despair than on a college campus. You are at the start of careers. In some cases, students are just finding their way. A program like ours, we graduate more than twice as many students as seniors as we have come in as freshmen. So many of students come in thinking, oh, I want to go into marketing. And then they get into marketing over in the business college like, that's not what I thought marketing was. I'm actually interested in advertising and public relations and corporate communication. And then they come to us and they're able to get into some of those classes and have more of that creative focus. And that makes all the difference. So that by the time they come to us, it's like a whole new world for them. And for me, particularly because I teach crisis communication, which isn't something that a high school student knows even exists, right? When they get into a class like risk and crisis communication, they realize there's a whole world, there's a whole discipline, there's a whole line of theory that's behind this and strategies you have to engage in order to protect an organization or to protect the public from an organization in some cases, depending on where you're working within the industry. So it really is fun just to see those lights come on and see students engage and see the opportunity ahead of them. And for me, working with this college right now, I mean, everything that we're doing to focus on hands-on experiential learning, getting students working with real clients over in our agencies right now, bringing those agencies to campus, having professionals and residents who are working directly with the students. I mean, there's so much energy and excitement around that. And this is the heart. I mean, this is the start and the heart of the industry here at the academic institution. So it really is just a wonderful process.
Mm-hmm. What hard skills would you say are essential to your position that you encourage students to focus more on?
Ooh, emotional intelligence, learning how to read the room, learning how to adjust in the midst of a conversation, adapt to the conversation and how it's going. If emotions are rising, knowing how to bring that back down so that you can have a calm conversation. I mean, that's really key, is understanding how to work with people and where they're at in that moment, rather than making assumptions of what you want them to be doing and what you want to be doing, but being present in that moment and being able to adjust to the conversation is really important. So emotional intelligence is key. A positive outlook on the world, on the industry, on the business. It's really hard to see a pathway forward if you're looking down continuously and digging through the weeds and trying to get through everything that's going wrong. You've got to be focusing on what's ahead and what's coming next, and keep that look up so that you know how to watch for any warning signals that could be coming down the line, be able to prepare for them, engage. So really that positive outlook and always looking forward rather than behind and down is really important. The last thing I would say is a strong business acumen is going to be key. I mean, you're not going to get into an upper level position if you don't have a good handle on budgets and how that works and how to negotiate budgets and how to get more funding as you need it. I mean, in many ways, I'm still doing sales as I did back when I was selling dasher boards, but now it is selling the dream of a college education and the opportunity that we provide and the connections we provide for our industry. I mean, that's a pretty incredible thing to be able to share with the world. But it comes down to you're making that pitch. You're working to convince people that this is something they need to be investing in. It's an easy sell, but it is still that engagement that needs to happen.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for all your great advice. You had a lot of good stuff in there that I'll definitely take to heart. Lastly, is there anything else you would like to add on to anything about your journey in this field, or any more advice you'd like to give any students?
You know, I made the comment about be the brand. Also give yourself a little grace in this. Realize that no one has it figured out. So as someone new who's coming into the business and you see professionals who are out there, they're making it, they make it all look easy and they're out there. We're all figuring it out. We're all human. We're all learning new things every single day. So while you should be presenting your best self forward each and every day, be that brand, recognize that you're going to grow and you're going to change and evolve. And so is everyone else. So you can do it. You can make it. It's keep that focus up and ahead.
Awesome. Well, again, thank you so much for taking the time out of your day to speak with me. Really means a lot to me, and I know to students who will watch the video. That concludes our interview, and I'm Sarah, your host. This was Dean Shari Vale on the Business Takeaway. Please don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel to be up to date with our videos, and feel free to reach out about anything. Thank you.